Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Terrence Ray, back at you with another stock market update. Right now, in that market, we got the S&P 500 futures up about 1%, up 50 handles currently. The Nasdaq futures are up about 250 handles. That's about 1.5%. We got the Dow futures up 0.5%, and the Russell futures are up a whole percent. We got the bonds up. The notes are up. Oil, I would say, is relatively flat. Excuse me. Gold is flat. And Bitcoin, for all sakes and purposes, is flat right now. And we got XLF. The financials are up. So, like I said, I always say, if the financials are up, the overall market should be up. And if the financials are down, then generally that's the financials. Those are your banks, and you look at your large banks, your J.P. Morgans, Goldman Sachs, and things of that nature. Morgan Stanley, Citi, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Those are the major ones that I'll pay attention to. And if they're going to be moving in the right direction, then I expect the market to be going up as well. You can see this is a chart of the XLF. And then if I bring up a chart of the SPX, you'll see that it is similar. Now I want to bring in the expected move so we can see where we are. I'm gonna remove this just so we can get that out of there. And I will remove this. And I can always bring it back. And you can see here was the expected, here is where the market opened up this week. Um, this was hold on, excuse me, right here. With the gap up on the 23rd or the 22nd. And then this was Monday, then you get Tuesday was the gap up. Then it came back inside the range and then it popped up. So let's see if we can hold today. With this gap, I suspect that it will. And we should finish outside of the range to the upside. And this will be the second week in a row that we have gone outside of the range of the expected move. Now one of the reasons why, I talked about that on last week's video or on the weekend update is because we were inside of the range for about 2-3 weeks, and then you get a break outside of the range. And now with this move from here going up, it will be my guess that this will be more like a corrective wave if we're doing like Elliott wave. So let's see. I do not think that the down the that this is over as far as the down move is concerned. I could be wrong, but I just think that we it would be healthy to see the market pull back a little bit more, and just for it to drift this high for this long and then not go back a little bit more. And another reason why I still think that we got a little bit more downside to go is because we still have geopolitical risk or risk, over in the Middle East. And that has not, and that really, some of that you could say has spread it here domestically, right? With the protest that's going on the different college campuses. In my opinion, I would expect for that to get worse before it gets better. And so I'm gonna keep a eye on that, just personally, just to kind of gauge how things are going in the world, right? Now let's go to over here on the right. I have a watch list. This is the Tasty Hourly Top Equities that updates for the TastyTrade platform, and they update it daily at 10 o'clock. And this just shows that the stocks um, that are being traded the most on the platform. So I wanted to go over those today just to kind of get a gauge where the market is going. Snap had a gap up, and I'm guessing I would think that it would be earnings, but I don't see the earnings on here. Let's go look at the news and see why Snap. Yeah, I don't have any news here. Something had to have happened for this gap up, but I thought maybe it might be earnings or something like that. But I do not see earnings over here on the earnings, it doesn't have the date. But that's neither here nor there. Snap is a big gap up today. Now, me personally, I would not trade something like this. Um, Not directionally anyway. You, now, and it has a low IV rank. So with an IV rank of like 15, if you wanted to come try and do like a strangle or something, you're not gonna really get paid for it. I would not do the 21 day. You probably would have to come out to 56 days, and you get nothing for selling this strangle. Basically, selling the expected move, you barely get a buck. It's not a bad risk to reward. I mean, to be honest with you, as far as like selling premium goes, but just not a lot of juice. And what I'm saying, when you got such a low IV rank, you don't have much contraction that you can get out of this. So I would not, I would stay away from that, something like that. Let's take a look at Google. Google, I know, had earnings and it had a big move. The earnings indicator should be showing on my screen, but let me see. Events. Yeah, I got it clicked on, but it's not showing for whatever reason. But I know Google had earnings and you got the gap up here. So if you're going to try to trade something, like I would not it's kind of hard to kind of gauge it directionally, because when you have a gap like that, I would think that it would continue to go higher though. If I had to place a bet, if I was a betting man, and I am, I would say that this would continue to go higher. But I don't like the trade. Like, I don't like any trade in here. You'd have to do something neutral, in my opinion. Excuse me. You still got a 38 IV rank. Let's look at SMCI, super microcomputer. Um, it's up on the day. Let's go to the hourly. So something like this, with it being stretched on the stochastic, I don't the time to have been in this would have been when the market opened. If you was on, it would have been a good scalp this morning though. This would have been a great scalp to try to catch this at the open. But if you're just looking at something to do, um, this would have to be a neutral trade as well. I'm gonna guess that all of these, to me, anytime I see, and I could see a pattern like in all of these stocks, like trading in a range. And so like when I see patterns, then I generally want to be it's something neutral, meaning like trading both sides of the expected move, even like something like Nvidia, because you don't know. I still don't think the down move is over. I think we're still to go sideways. So I don't. This one would have been a good one too. It's got a $36 move today. That's almost a 5%. It's 4.5% move so far. So these are great scalps. Like same thing with SMCI. You would have wanted to be in this right here. I don't know if, because right here you see it's gonna hit some resistance. I don't know if I would trade it at this hour. Um, Not anything intraday. TQQ, and I don't trade leverage products. But this looks just like let's look at the NASDAQ, or the regular QQQ. You see how it looks? And you can see you hitting resistance right here. So look, that would be, I would trade this one before I trade the TQQ. VRT was that Vertiv Holdings. Got a nice up move. Let's look at it on the daily. Break it out of this range. So you got to break out here, kind of pull back, and now it's going higher. Let's see. Let's take a look at Snow. Now, this one out of all of them, I actually like this one. I actually like this one, and I'm going to show you guys why. Because it came back down here into support. So you had this gap right here, and you can see, let's draw this gap over. And I may put a trade on it here. We'll look and see what Got a gap right here. So it came down into support. So that gap acted as support. Hit here, and then we even got like got a nice little move at the bottom, right? So we got up, pull back. Now me, when I see stuff like that, I'll move all the indicators, and it's easier to see. See how like right here, guys, it pull. We had three gap here, pull back, wick, and then gap up. That's something. Let's see if we got earnings. Got earnings on May 22nd. So you almost got 30 days. Let's see. Um, Actually, you could trade this front month right here and stay out of the way of the earnings. And that will put, I might trade this one. Let's see. We got, I like to do my Fibonacci retracement. Excuse me. And we got that. So when I go through, like I hadn't, I was- I'm doing these, going through these stocks on the video. It's not like any of this was pre-planned. You can see, guys, it hit this level right here. See that? Hit this level and held. Now, what I would have to do is assess that, like, hey, do I think it can go and hit another level, right? Do I think it can go higher? And I do. So let's go to 21 days. What we looking at? So my low over here is what what's that is like what 150? What is that? Let's move this up. Is that 150 right here? This low. So if I was gonna sell a put or sell a put spread, I come here, sell this. This would be the someone one of these would be to put to sell and maybe buy to make it a put spread. Um, you see 120 take in 123. It's not a bad trade. Now the only thing about that is if you're gonna trade this will be the front month. This will be the best month to trade. If not, then you're going into if you come out here, then you're gonna be in earnings, right? And I wouldn't hold it through earnings anyway, to be honest. This one isn't as liquid. Probably the best one to trade will be the 56 day. But then you gotta burn this. If you ain't made your money, if you had not made your money by the time you're not gonna get a lot of decay. So you this would be purely directional. You need to get it. You need it to move up. You need it to move, you know, and which I do think it can get up here to this 166. So this is one that I'm going to look at and I may put this trade on. If I put the trade on, then I'll put it out in the community notes. And, but this is how I go into if I'm going to make a trade. First of all, when I pulled up the chart, I didn't have any of these drawings on. I instantly seen this low. I seen this up move and this pullback, right? Once I seen that, I seen divergence on the oscillator. And then at that point, then I go get my Fibs, put my retracement on, see it come back to that sweet spot. And then we got a gap up. So right there, for me, that's go time. So I'll be looking at that once this video is concluded. Let's go to Coinbase. We can see Coinbase trading in a range. Excuse me. They have earnings on May 2nd. This is another, it'll probably, if I had to guess, will continue to stay in this range until you get earnings. That's one of the ones where me, I wouldn't I wouldn't put a trade on here. And if you want to do something in the earnings, go ahead, but I probably would stay away from it. Let's look at AMD. AMD is in a range as well. Got earnings on April 30th. This is another one I would stay away from trade wise. If you believe in the stock and you want to buy it, then go ahead. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't place a trade here, not with earnings coming up, because we could look at Netflix and see this was earnings. Do Google, unless you buying it ahead of earnings. Look at that. So you don't know what it's gonna do. Uh, where did I leave off? Coin, AMD, and Microsoft. Basically the same thing. Gap down, then a gap up. I don't like the chart though. I don't see any of these last couple like would be like a neutral trade. Iron Condor or Strangles. SMH, semiconductor ETF, kind of looks like the SPX at this point, like it's moving up. I don't. If I had to make a guess on this one, you got a little Harami right here, so that signaled your up move. Amazon, similar to Microsoft. Let's see. You said you had divergence. You had the up move here. You had divergence from here to here. I think the market will continue. I think this one will continue to go down a little bit more too. But Baba is breaking out of this range right here. Baba has been in this range for months, right? If it can get out of here, it might go. If it can break out of this range, let's say get past 78.50, then maybe it can fill the gap up right around 86 bucks. So maybe break above 78.50 to 86 might be good money. GDX, uh, it looks like it's coming into a squeeze. So it's going to move and follow with gold, TLT, the bonds, kind of just drifting lower. I stay out of it, low IV rank. Bonds really don't move a whole lot. Apple, look like it found its bottom. Maybe it put a bottom in right here. I would like to see a pullback, just kind of like similar what we seen to on snow before I would look to get in. GLD, similar to GDX, look like it's getting ready to come into some consolidation. I like to see it consolidate and then break. Meta, big gap down. I would stay away from this. Um, Now you could see a little pop upwards, for a trade. I still don't like to be honest with you. And you got a crossover down here on the stochastic. So it could go lower. I don't like trading these big huge gaps. Tesla Tesla had a gap up earlier this week. And let's see, it's been drifting lower. So Tesla actually isn't a bad, in my opinion, it might not be a bad buy because it's already taking its lumps. So you figure, at some point it's gonna start to go higher. Netflix down. I looked at Netflix. I was still down off of that gap down. I'd stay away from it. XLE. Uh, looked like got a crossover on a stochastic down here. So there's no telling what it's getting ready to do. Could be getting ready to go lower. Roku. Roku looked like it's getting ready to go lower. And Intel. Ugh. Intel. This is a this chart look nasty. It's nasty work. Gap down. I'll stay away from it as well. As far as like the market goes, I hadn't seen a whole lot that I like. Now, if you just want to do some neutral trades, that's what I'd be doing right now. Finding something with a high IVR, something over 30, and looking to maybe sell both sides of the expected move, doing something like an iron condor or a strangle. The only thing now I do like snows set up, but this may be the only one that I actually like. And with that, guys, I'm going to look out for the weekend video. I have some scans set up, and then I have some possible trades and stuff to look for the week. And I also had an expected move set up. Look so that we can check that out. And I'm about to dig in the snowflake a little bit more, and I may put a trade on in it. So just check make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and then check the community notes to see what I actually did, and I put the trade on there. And with that, guys, I'm gonna be out. Peace.